Welcome back, everybody. It's now time for What's Hot. This is where we talk about those stories that have everybody talking.
We're joined by Ben Merens, media director of the Vistelar Group, plus Jeff Wagner is back. A Florida mother is upset over some Breaking Bad action figures being sold at Toys R Us. They come with a sack of cash, a bag of meth, and a hazmat suit. She says they are not appropriate for children, but Toys R Us says the Breaking Bad action figures are meant for older teens and adults and are not sold in the toy section for young kids. So, should the toys be removed from store shelves altogether? What do you guys think?
There's no way to sound good about saying this, but the answer to that is no. It's not that the store is selling the toys that makes a market for them. It's that people would buy them. And I don't see any reason why, if this toy is so disturbing to parents, and if my young child wanted it to disturb me, I'd say no. It's the parents' role. Why Toys R Us is putting it on the shelves, I'm not sure. But the fact that it's there, I wouldn't remove it as much as just leave it there, and then they'll remove it.
Well, see, I agree with you, Ben. I mean, here's the bottom line. If you're buying your 7-year-old an action figure for a meth dealer, you've got more issues than just the fact that there's an action figure there. This is sold in the adult section. I was looking today. Some of the other things that are available, and I'm a big fan of Breaking Bad, and by the way, without giving away spoilers, these villains, everybody loses in the end. I mean, crime doesn't pay. That's the message of the show. But they're with action figures along with other villains. Friday the 13th, the Jason character, Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street. They've got all these different, the ones from The Walking Dead, the zombies and things like that. I mean, this is the adult section. So, I mean, I don't understand why the Breaking Bad action figures are any worse than any of the other villains that they're selling here.
I've had people also who I've talked to about this story today ask me about the contradiction in terms. Seemingly there's an adult section of Toys R Us. But if you go to Toys R Us or any other toy store, there are other toys that may be seen as worse to put in a kid's hands. Some of the different guns or knives or all sorts of activities that you may not want your kid playing with as a young child.
Toys are not just for kids anymore.
Well, perhaps not, but in this case, having a parent complain about them, saying take them off the shelf, maybe say, why did you put it on the shelf? But once they're there, if you don't buy them, Toys R Us will remove them.
Right.
Good point.
All right, coming up next, we're going to reveal the viewer's choice topic of the day.
And a cooler Tuesday, but temperatures are going to start to warm up this week. And guess what? Some sunshine is of what's hot in our viewer's choice topic of the day.
Again, we're joined by Ben Merens and Jeff Wagner from 620 WTMJ. The viewer's choice topic today. The U.S. Supreme Court will decide whether convicted felons can sell their guns. They're looking at a case where a felon attempted to transfer ownership of his guns to his wife or sell them to a third party. That prompted a debate as to whether felons relinquish all ownership rights. Now, the law, counselor, is if you're a felon, you can't have a firearm.
Right, and this case involves, what the guy was trying to do is he was trying to sell the guns to his wife. And the prosecution was arguing, okay, well, this is really going to be a sham transfer, and, you know, he's not able to possess them. I guess, I mean, the law is that if you're a felon, you can't have even constructive possession of firearms, which means that, you know, you can't even be in a room with a firearm knowingly, whether it belongs to you or not. So I think felons should be able to sell them, but at the same time, if felons are around them, well, they deserve to get prosecuted.
It also seems to me, Jeff, I'm trying to figure out, we had the Pistorius choice and the Goodell choice, and the viewers took this choice. And usually, it's my experience, Second Amendment cases get a lot of people excited, and that's why they voted for this. But it's not really a Second Amendment case. It's a procedural issue. But once you've been convicted of a felony, at that point, I don't know, in the court they asked, do you have any guns in your possession or in your home? But it would seem that's when they're supposed to do it, and the felon's supposed to give their guns up. Being a felon, I don't know if they would tend to do that. It doesn't seem like it's a legal right of passage of the gun to the family or to the market. It's a procedural issue of getting rid of the weapons, because once you're convicted, you can't do that.
Right, and I guess to me the question becomes, what is your right? If you can no longer possess the gun, does it automatically get forfeited to the government, or as long as you get rid of it, should you be able to, get rid of it by selling it or whatever? And that's what the court's going to decide. I guess I don't have a strong position on one way or the other than the fact that I think regardless of where you are on the whole gun issue, all of us would agree that people who have been convicted of felonies should not possess firearms, period.
Good point. Time for our lightning round. Let's switch it up. Not only can you dress up in an Ebola costume for Halloween, now you can get an Ebola stuffed animal. The company Giant Microbes is selling the Ebola toy and is already out of stock. The company says it's a great teaching tool for kids of all ages. So what are your thoughts on this?
And this company makes stuffed animal versions of anthrax.
The flu.
I have here's my operative question here. Of the universe of toys that you could buy for your kid, who
Again,
in God's
not
green
all
earth
toys
would
are for
buy an
kids.
Ebola toy? I mean,
There are
seriously.
science geeks out there that go nuts for this.
It doesn't
stuff.
really look cute. Like they could have made it look more appealing.
I'm not really sure why you'd want to wear this. Maybe it's trendy. I think there's a compassion side of this. It'd be one thing if it's just a disease you get and you're sickened, but people are dying and we're not sure how to stop it, and there's a frenzy going on. So it seems like sort of an odd toy. I'm sort of jaundiced about Halloween because I'm a Halloween-born baby and I love anything Halloween.
Yeah.
So I guess I sort of have to accept this as a costume. I don't know if I like it as a toy, but like the bookend of the first topic we did today, if you don't buy it, they won't keep it on the shelves, so you don't like it there, but there's a market for it, and it's selling off the shelves because people want it.
They make flesh-eating bacteria, Black Death, mad cow, Ebola, anthrax, and typhoid.
Okay, to me, once again, God's way of telling you is that you have too much money is if you can buy this particular item.
Well, if it becomes a learning tool, that's probably the best upside to this. That you can talk about this and disease identification and disease eradication, which is what we're hoping for with Ebola.
I mean, maybe in a science class, a teacher uses it to describe what Ebola looks like. I don't know.
But I don't think that's who's buying it right now. I don't get that
I hear
sense.
You. Obviously, people like to say that it's flown off the shelves. It's not even a question of if there's a market for it. In this case, there's a huge market for it.
It's kitschy.
Jeff, I might just have to buy you one.
Inappropriate, but kitschy.
That might be your Christmas present.
Okay. Can I give you a couple other suggestions as well before we go?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
A new box of golf balls. The What's Hot discussion will continue online. Find it at TMJ4.com.